D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Tune in to the GoWIN Radio Show, hosted by Nico the Go-Goologist and Ms. Lady on GoGo Radio Live and WIN DC Radio. Powered by GoWIN Media, LLC. It's live, baby, from the shops at Iverson.
Like a shovel wood, double on the heavenly level, brighten the bass and turn up the treble. Radical mind, day and night, all the time. 714, wise, divine, maniac, brainiac, winner of the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse James.
You're back right here on the GoWIN Radio Show, right here on GoGo Radio Live. WIN DC Radio, all wrapped up in GoWIN.media, coming to you live from the shops at Iverson. And my special guest, Miss Micca is in the building.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, appreciate you for coming in today. I'm really, really excited for you to finally come up in here because your Instagram feed, we were just talking about it a little bit off air, but I was talking about just the normal feed, but didn't know the other things, in which we approach that in a little bit once we start talking about it. But your Instagram is popping right now. You got this brand new single out called Signals, and you're a DC native.
Yep. Washington, D.C., Northwest.
Northwest. What school you come out of?
High school?
Yeah.
Cardoza.
Okay, so look.
Okay.
That's what's up, because what really impressed me was the quality of your music video. I was really impressed by the fact that it looked really professional. It wasn't your run-of-the-mill, I'm just in the hood, let me hang out with my homies, we gonna flick it up, and we did this video, dog, we on the video, we on the gram, or no, you look like you really took your time. Were you the one to produce that, or?
So I wrote the treatment, which is basically everything
they lay out
in the video.
Right.
So I wrote the treatment. I got the people that I wanted to be in the video, the actors and everything. And then only thing I didn't do was shoot it with the camera. So
okay. So you essentially produced the video then?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much any video that you've ever seen from me, it's pretty much been me.
Wow. So
I just usually get a videographer, a really good one. This time I work with Studio 6 out here in Capitol Heights.
Okay. Obviously, you pretty happy with their work on this last one?
Yeah. I just gave them, the vision that I wanted to do, and they ran with it. So that's pretty much what we did. Yeah,
it's a good look. It's a real good look. And if y'all get the opportunity, please check it out on YouTube. Signals by Miss Micca. It's Micca.
Yes.
As you will see on all the promo that went out to this morning and last night. So look, this for those who don't necessarily know about you, let's give a little bit of background on you, because you are not new to this. You've been around for a little bit, and but yet for some reason it seems like you're getting a little spark going on, which is always good.
which is very good. I mean, in music, it's really hard to be like it's just gonna blow up instantly. And honestly and truly, I kind of appreciate the slow grind, because if not, you can have a hit that instantly blows up, and you have to keep chasing that hit, because if everything else you bring out is not as good as that, then you run the risk of just going right back out.
Right.
I listened to Kendrick Lamar talk about that one time, how it took him a while, but I've been just consistent, and more opportunities started to come, and now I'm looking at some other opportunities on tour and things like that. So I mean, it's definitely getting there. You are a self-described pop R&B artist. I always say that I'm pop because I deal in what's popular. I'm a lover of music, period. So I do hip hop, I do EDM, I do a lot of different things, and I infuse it in my music. And to me, that's popular music. Not a specific sound is popular music, meaning just the music that everybody loves is popular, and that's pretty much what I do.
But that is odd coming from a city that is really known for the go-go sound.
I love go-go. I grew up off go-go. So to me, go-go is definitely a staple with DC, and I've always loved go-go, but I guess my upbringing, the type of family I grew up in allowed me to be able to branch out and listen to all types of music. So I really think that's how I got there.
And that's what's beautiful about it. So you grew up in Northwest?
I grew up in Northwest, Upper Northwest. Yes.
Okay, so who's your favorite go-go band coming up?
I think my favorite go-go band, period, and it doesn't matter the time period, but I love Backyard.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
She keeping
band.
it gangster, y'all.
They have like all the best songs. I don't care if it's before my time or whatever. I just like them. So.
That's what it is. So, Uptown, telling it like it is. How long ago did you actually get started in this entertainment game?
Well, I mean, music, period. I've always done music because my father was a singer and a musician, so that allowed me to.
Do you remember what group?
Out. Yeah, his group was called Just Us, and they got their start by winning an Apollo, and they won about 4 times. And then they got signed to a record deal, and then he was, doing tours and things like that with like SWV, like all those people back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And so
called Just Us.
And Channel 4, Jim Vance, all of them did like a whole story on them, followed them, everything. So because they were one of the breakout groups from this area, if not the only breakout group from this area. That's where I pretty much got my base. But as far as like professionally, this is like going on my 3rd year, like professionally doing it.
So professionally, what would you say are the differences from just being interested in and liking it and wanting to do it to right now? It's about that grind.
Well, I mean, when you're an entertainer, and that's what I consider myself. I don't just consider myself an artist because I don't just get on stage and stand there. Like I have like a full-on show. But when you're trying to be an entertainer, like you really have to want to put your all in, and I think that's what separates it from being like a hobby and things like that. Because once you put your all in, it starts affecting other areas. Like whether you have children, whether you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, like it starts affecting all areas. So your family, all that.
Yeah. That's telling.
So that's when it becomes like your gig.
Yeah. Well, but there are those who don't have those factors involved, as far as we dealing with family and whatnot, and they take it on a professional level. But no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When you got to put other people in front of yourself.
even if you don't have you still have some type of family, but even if you don't have like children or boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, husband, wife. You still have, probably friends that you hung out with, and I'm going to tell you those relationships are going to get strained as well because you're not going to have time.
Yeah.
So whatever relationship you have is definitely going to be tested, or it ain't going to be there. Either one.
So how is it? I just read a story that just came out. I'm sure you're aware of Beyonce coming out with the Baychella on Netflix.
Yeah.
Were you able to check it out?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't either, so it's all right.
I watched like the trailer or whatever, but it's honestly it's no different than a lot of artists I know, including myself, because that's literally the grind. So I mean, what she does may be on a big scale because she does big concerts and things like that, but it's really honestly and truly no different than a lot of the artists that are independent or major that aren't as known. And then the only other difference, I guess, would be when she talked about, nutrition and things like that. But I've resonated with that because I fast for 20 hours a day. For 20 hours a day, I don't eat. And then I eat for 4.
Daily?
Daily.
Wow.
And then I eat for 4. And then, I eat pretty strict. And then if, I have to, do a music video or something like that, my diet gets, extremely strict.
Wow, that takes a lot of discipline.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
So you
most
do
people
that.
Can't do it.
So it's, yeah.
And that's because, and not because they can't do it, but it's just the sheer fact of what you have to give up. And that's the same thing with this, doing music. You have to give up certain things.
Well, that's how I led into the whole Baychella story that I read about Beyonce and far as sacrifices. And one of the things she said she had to sacrifice as a woman that was really telling on her is she already had one child before,
right?
But her having twins this time really took a toll on her body.
Yep.
And also that like she was getting ready for this whole big performance at Coachella, and being, she knew what she wanted it to be,
right?
And she still had yearnings to want to be with her babies.
Yeah, and see, the crazy part about that is, when you usher in this era of modern day feminism and things like that, what they don't factor in is that naturally you want to be a nurturer to your offspring. Mm-hmm. So just to kind of throw that away and say, well, you can do this with your career and you can have it all. Like anybody that has children and that's in the industry will tell you, you can do whatever you want, but what are you willing to sacrifice? And she has to sacrifice time with her children. Whether she, going back and forth to the trailer or not, like you're sacrificing that time that you could be there majority of the time. And so I think a lot of times that women forget that, yeah, we have careers and things like that, but children are literally the most important thing. And so I think she was trying to show how hard that balance is to try to do that. And it's women out here every day that can tell you the same thing. Whether you're doing what Beyonce does or you work a 9 to 5, being away from your children 8 to 12 hours a day is a lot.
Yeah. And I guess what it really showed was it portrayed some vulnerability to her. Mm-hmm. Because people just think of Beyonce.
It make her seem human.
Yeah.
Versus, because the way they hype
the great Beyonce.
Right, because, and it's cool to have that, but the way a lot of times they hype it up and why some people, I guess, might be a little off-putting to her is because they make it seem like she can pretty much do anything, right? And people, and like there's no flaws there. And so I think when she puts these things out, it makes her seem more human and more relatable.
Oh, yeah. And that's one thing that I find so ingenious about her, that she always uses what's available to her instead of it being a deterrent, but, use it to her advantage.
Right.
And especially with the whole social media piece and whatnot, she's mean with it. Like she's so determined to make sure that whatever she puts out, like this is exactly what she wants to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
it
I
happens.
Agree, but I agree with that. Like I was telling you, I do the treatments for my videos. Mm-hmm. I don't mind people sending me treatments and things like that, but literally I look everything over. Now, some people like that in the industry and some people don't. Some people might call it, being something and don't want to deal with it. But at the end of the day, you're responsible for your product. So if you allow other people to tell you how it's going to look, what it's going to look like, and then the outcome is bad, no, they're not looking at the behind the scenes people. They're looking at you because you are the product. So it's like you're either going to be involved or not. But either way, it's going to come down on you.
Yeah. I mean, you talk so wisely, like you've really been in this game much longer than 3 years, but like you said, you came up in it.
Yeah.
So you have a different perspective than some others.
Yeah, I've seen the good and the bad. And, the bad was one of the reasons why my dad ended up having to stop doing music, with the whole thing in the 90s with, if you were a celebrity and you are doing music, you got kind of caught up in the whole drugs and women and all that stuff. That was my dad.
Yeah. So you had to pick family over that situation, right?
Huh?
He had to pick family over that situation, right?
Well, no, my dad was on the road a lot, a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I come from generations of housewives. Like, I'm literally the first one to work.
Wow.
So.
Wow. So what are you gonna do now that you got this brand new single out, Signals, popping, and you got to hit the road? What you gonna do?
So I'm working on a college tour right now. That's what I'm gonna do first, actually.
Okay.
Because I don't know why some people.
Wait a minute. Let's back this up a little bit. You said you're working on it. So what? You don't have a managerial team?
So I work with different people. So like I work with booking agents. I work with, people who set up, tours. You can call them, I guess, road managers and things like that.
Right.
So I pretty much work that way.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, no, I do not have a personal manager. At the moment.
Interesting. So
I get bids, but I'm very particular.
You should be.
Yeah, I'm very particular, and I don't like to waste time. I don't like to just beat around the bush and do things. And like I said before, some people in the industry can stand that, some people can't. So it really depends.
Well, let me ask you something. Since you are a semi-novice but experienced entertainer, where do you see yourself? Because you knowing and being around this game for as long as you have, what do you see is your asset that's going to make Micca pop? And forgive the play on words.
No, it's cool. I think what makes me an asset is that I don't just do one thing. Like what you'll hear from my new EP, and you kind of heard it from the older songs that I did, but I dance, I sing, I rap, and my music videos, I tend to try to make them more so edging towards movie-like versus just standing around looking at. And I could do that because those get played also. But me personally, I like entertainment. Like I'm a child of the 90s, so watching videos from late 90s, 2000s, those videos like were awesome. And so I kind of try to bring that back, but within the modern time span. Because, nowadays we don't have, attention spans.
Right. No, you're
so
exactly right.
I'm very conscious of that.
You're exactly right. So I tell you what, we've been talking about it. I want to give everybody a taste. Well, not even a taste. We're going to let them hear the whole thing of this brand new single called Signals.
Yes.
And I'm telling you right now, if you really want to get the full brunt of this, check this thing out on YouTube. The video is popping for real. All right. This is brand new Signals right here by Micca. You're tuned into the GoWIN Radio Show right here on GoGo Radio live and WIN DC Radio.
I'm a pro when I'm moving that dope. All the bad bitches gon' link up. You should already know how this go. Every day gotta get your bands up. I'm on overtime coming in with the big faces, call it Benjamin. If they really want it, ain't no panicking. Load it up, then let it in. Oh yeah. Refilling up my energy, watching all my enemies. Know they gotta hit on me. Oh yeah. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals.
I watch out for them signals, cause these lame hoes, they don't care. So they watch my moves like a TV, like just straight wanna be me. I keep telling them this that I'm solo. If you ask why, cause y'all fake, I be on my own with a couple of stacks. I got no time for fuck, but you're getting them rap. Did you see? Straight leveling up, I'm booked and I'm busy, not giving up. On Instagram story, straight living it up. Love me or hate me, you know what's up. Then talk to me then, don't fuck with me now. Come through your city, straight busting it down. Make it don't fade, no homie, no clown. I'm watching them signals, no taking me down.
I'm a pro when I'm moving that dope. All the bad bitches gon' link up. You should already know how this ain't no panicking. Load it up, then let it in. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Refilling up my energy, watching all my enemies. Know they got a hit on me. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals.
Watch out for those signals. Only 100 bills, no singles. 100 niggas and they die for me and they stand up like 10 toes. Ooh yeah. They can copy me like tenfold. Think they hot, but it's an N.O. Better pay homage and get sinful. Wait, back to rap because I'm nice and shit. And it blow my mind cause I don't write this shit. They throw shade on me, I threw light on it. Play my songs and they reciting it. You get 100 likes and be hyping shit. They shooting here, we don't fight for shit. With microphones on the mic of it, I'm a pro.
When I'm moving that dope, all the bad bitches gon' link up. You should already know how this go. Every day gotta get your bands up. Like I'm on overtime coming in with the big faces, call it Benjamin. If they really want it, ain't no panicking. Load it up, then let it in. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Refilling up my energy, watching all my enemies. Know they got a hit on me. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals.
I'm watching the moves. I sit and I wait. These bitches I'm dead. They hating, they fake. Got nothing to lose. I know that I'm great. You play by the rules. I'm snatching the plate. Can't wait for that morning after no plan B. I was born a rapper, I'm a QB. You a cornerback to rush the block, say who I'm coming out. Like 6'9", I'm not really needing no friends. Everything that I done touched and disband. Nigga, then I done these bitches again. Calling me Cali, you know I'm a whip.
I'm a pro when I'm moving that dope. All the bad bitches gon' link up. You should already know how this go. Every day gotta get your bands up. Like I'm on overtime coming in with the big faces, call it Benjamin. If they really want it, ain't no panicking. Load it up, then let it in. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Refilling up my energy, watching all my enemies. Know they got a hit on me. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals.
Watch out for those signals. Only 100 bills, no singles. 100 niggas and they die for me and they stand up like 10 toes. Ooh yeah. They been copying me like tenfold. Think they hot, but it's an N.O. Better pay homage and get sinful. Ooh yeah.
There it is. That's Signals right there by Micca.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. I read a little bit on you that you sent to me, and you sing and rap. Correct. Which came to you naturally first?
Singing, because my dad was a singer, and my dad used to make me sing even when I didn't want to. Like, he would wake us up early in the morning and just, he'll have whatever song he wanted to sing, and you had to listen to it, and then you had to sing it, whether you could sing it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
So y'all had boot camp early.
Yeah, my dad was like the I don't know, the Florida Joe Jackson or something. Cause like he just everything revolved around singing. Everything. Everything.
You said Florida Joe Jackson?
Yeah, my dad's from Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's family is all from Florida, and my mom's family is from DC and out of the country.
Okay. All right. So singing naturally came to you. So how did you get involved into rapping?
So like I said, in my household, I really didn't hear like rap music and things like that. I grew up with my grandparents. My parents had me pretty young, so they let me, stay with my grandparents. And my grandparents' household is mostly country music and like what they call oldie but goodies. Like doo-wop music and things like that. So I pretty much grew off of that. And then when I got into junior high school, everybody was listening to rap music, and I was just like, okay, all right, I like this. And that's when I started to learn to rap. I already wrote songs. I wrote tons of country songs.
Wow.
But I don't have a country voice, so
Right.
you know, and I can't fake one.
You got no twang.
I can't fake one. If I could, I would sing country. I swear.
So the writers is what make the money
Oh
anyway.
yeah, and I can write. I can write it all day long.
Yeah.
I can write it all day long.
Shoot.
And actually, my
Send
aunt,
that right on out. Get that
my
check,
aunt
girl.
sings. My whole family sings, but my aunt sings country so good. And I told her like, but she doesn't want to be, you know,
Don't
like
want to
in
be
celebrity
Right.
or whatever. I was like, man, if you do it, I'll write you all the songs.
right.
But yeah, so singing came first, and then hip hop, because that was something I was introduced to later in life.
Mm-hmm.
But I love all genres of music. Like, I love it.
But if you got stuck into a room and you had to pick one out of all of them that you enjoyed the most, not where you shine the most, but you enjoyed the most, like, these are my last days, this is what I want in my ears, playing on and on and on.
Like,
what would it be?
If I was stuck in what I had to listen to, oh man, it would probably be something in singing.
No, I mean the favorite genre.
My favorite genre, it would probably be, I would say it's probably like rock.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? What style of rock? You know, they say that go-go can have different branches, but rock has several different styles.
Something that they
Southern
call
rock, you
something
got
that they call
classic
alternative
rock.
or pop rock.
Okay.
You know, like Alanis Morissette and maybe like Green Day and Foo Fighters.
Okay.
Stuff
Okay.
like that.
Got you. Okay.
Oh yeah, I told you I love music, but yeah, rock music.
It's like 94.7 style, right?
Well, that's what it would be now, I guess.
Yeah.
Like Fresh FM, stuff like
Right.
that.
Right.
But I mean, it's just, or what do they call it? Maybe classic rock, something like that.
No, classic rock is more like the Journey,
Like Journey,
Aerosmith,
Foreigner.
Right. That's
I listen to
classic
that
rock.
too.
Yeah, I had to, like, when we was working in restaurants, like, that's all you heard on top of your head all day long. So you start picking that stuff up. You start knowing it left and
well,
right.
See, no, my mom, because my mom's an 80s baby, so my mom plays like a lot of that stuff.
She's MTV then, because that's when MTV got the popping.
Yeah. Like I said, my mom was an 80s kid, so
Yeah.
she listens to like all of that stuff. Like, that's pretty much all we listen to. if my mom plays it, yeah, that's just
That's
rock.
what it is, right?
Yep.
Well, that's what's up. So, what do your parents think about what you're doing now?
My mom, she's not surprised, because like I said, it was kind of like drilled in us. But before my dad died, because my dad's dead. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
thank you. But before my dad died, he was just like, yeah, you know, keep going. Don't get caught up in anything, like how, you know, I used to get caught up in stuff. And honestly and truly, like, that's one of my main drivers. Just having that experience from seeing my dad. And so my dad loved it. My mom, she's like, hey, do whatever makes you happy. She thinks I'm my dad's twin.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, don't make me cry, baby. Yeah, so that's really you kind of threw me off with that. That's a nice story, and it is good that you manifesting you know through your father, you know, so or your father through you, you know, so and that's a great way of going about things. You definitely have the energy, the style. I mean, what do you think about the DC? Because you've only been in this for 3 years, but it's a lot of people that's in the industry that have been characterized as crabs in a barrel, and especially along. And we've done several interviews that you can see by the wall up in there.
Right. I was looking at all those pictures.
Yeah. So we've done several interviews with a whole bunch of different people that came through here, but the women say all the times like it's hard to deal with the other sisters because for whatever reason they be tearing each other down. Have you run across that?
Honestly, with women, no. And the only reason I say that is because in the industry so far, I don't really deal with a lot of women. I deal with more men than I do women. So I haven't noticed that. But in my regular life, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I guess that might manifest over to music for some people. But it just hasn't for me only because I deal with more men.
Right.
Especially in
the music
hip-hop,
industry is
definitely to be, more male dominated.
Well, just the music industry overall is definitely dominated by men.
Yeah, men tend to be
behind the scenes, in front.
And it's cool because I met I've met a lot of great men like in this industry. They write, they produce, they do a lot. They work their butts off. My partner. My business partner is a male, so men do a lot of great things, just as well as women. So yeah, but I just haven't come across that with music. Right.
Yeah. So no, that's just a common question that we have because
because it's very prominent. Like I think humans in general, when they see others doing things, sometimes it brings out their own insecurities, and if they can't do something, they may take it out on you.
But that seems to be an issue more so of people of color than anything else. You don't like other races that definitely come to this country. And you're from what's your background?
So my family, I come from two multiracial people.
Right.
So my dad's mixed and my mom's mixed.
Okay.
So
so you got a little you
so,
juggling balls good.
So they would
your holidays be popping, huh?
Oh, it's always popping. We got soul food, we got Polish food, we got Hispanic food. Whatever you want, we pretty much
Good
got.
Gracious.
My grandmothers can cook it.
But so you understand the fact that, and this is a little bit different, I'm sure, that you might be talking about it in your general interview, but that we as black folks here, especially in this area, we have a lot of ills towards each other for no reason. And a lot of times, races like you come from, a multicultural background, that you understand like you don't really have those kind of like that abrasion between each other. Usually, family sticks together. But I
understand what you're saying because one of my races is black, and so in this country, they're going to classify as one thing or the other, no matter what you actually are. So, I get to see both sides. And, going to predominantly black and Hispanic schools, like Cardozo is black and Hispanics, you can definitely see that in my own household experience, and then when I go out. But I think it stems from just generations of black people not doing it. Because if you look back at like before, black people, when they were like forced to do things with each other, they did well.
It's crazy what segregation does.
Yeah, and people always like to talk to me about that, but I'm like...
It's reverse psychology,
well, we had to have segregation. I'm like, but you did much better under segregation. You own more houses, your family stayed together.
When we were segregated.
So
it's reverse psychology.
It puts a point into that mind, like, you really...
Well, that's how slavery works. Okay, you know what? You think you're free, but you always enslaved mentally.
Yeah. I mean, what is it, like from the 1970s on down, you notice the difference than before. Yeah. So, I think that's probably the main point. And then, when one gets something, that none of the group has. They kind of want to hold it on for themselves, but you would fare better if you actually just
let everybody
in.
Yeah, you let everybody eat. You don't get that. It's always going to be a Judas. It's always going to be a Judas, but you're going to have the others on your side.
Right.
Because you know what? And why you do him like that, Judas? He looked out for all of us. And but if you try to hold on to yourself,
yeah, and I think
it's easy for that hate to come in.
I think people also think that if they don't want to be seen as not being diverse. So just because your group sticks with each other doesn't mean you can't be diverse. It just means you look out for this before you look out for that. And pretty much everybody does that. It's tribalism. Everybody does that. If you have a tribe, you would look out for your if you have a family, you look out for your family before other people. There's no problem in that.
Yeah, you're born with it.
Yeah, that's not a problem. And I think if black people focused on that a lot more than trying to focus on being diverse and accepting of everybody, it would fare out better.
Yeah, I think it's been pushed on us as, through the media that being diverse is the way to get in. And it's actually just the opposite.
Yeah. Because have you noticed, and I always ask people this, have you noticed that, people of color, quote unquote, always say, oh, we need representation. But have you noticed that, like, Asians never ask for representation? They don't need it. No. They have the capital. They have economics.
Everything is together.
Yeah.
They speak. Their money speaks together.
Yeah. So, because, why you're... most of the cities have what? A Chinatown.
Right. That's right.
I have Cuban family, and it's a Chinatown in Cuba. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be of that diaspora to have, diversity. So you can actually do something and stick with your own and still be diverse. But I don't think black people have it, one, because they haven't been taught it, but two, they haven't grasped the concept yet because they don't see how it can benefit them.
How close are you still to your Cuban roots?
I went to Cuba last August.
Yes, that's your Instagram show.
Yes.
Look, you had a ball down there. Okay.
I'm going back this year.
How, through the media that we see here, at the time, President Barack Obama went down there and mended some very, very long and stale fences between United States and Cuba. I wanted just to get some insight on that from the Cuban perspective. Can you just give us...
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because it's one thing, and I tell people this all the time, it's one thing what they show you on American TV, and it's another.
Exactly that's what I'm saying.
So you might see Barack Obama, looking good on American TV, but what actually happened when he went down there, they had the United States government remove all the protesters when he landed.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of people protesting.
Because he was trying to bring corporations down there.
Of course.
But the corporations don't benefit the people. And if they don't benefit the people, the Cuban people we don't want it.
That's right.
And so that's kind of what made
it's called gentrification, people.
Yeah. And you're going to bring these corporations down there, right, and they're going to take over.
That's right.
And they're not hiring those people. They're not hiring the people. They're not teaching them anything.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of times I also think that because Barack Obama is a quote unquote person of color, that we overlook a lot of the stuff that he does.
Come here, sister. Come here, sister. Hey, look. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. She's the winner. The best guest of all time right there. I be saying this, boy, I get eggs thrown at me. They find eggs. They find eggs. There be no eggs in here. They find the eggs thrown at me, boy.
You're going to.
I say anything bad about their president. That's our president.
But who's president? Because one, he works for the United States government. So whether he's half black, half this, half that, it doesn't matter. And so I think people would fare better if they stop looking at skin and they look at actual policies. Because I don't care what color the person is. If they're not for me, they're not for me.
There it is. Woo, boy. Hey, look. You know what? You get an open door. Anytime you want to come in here, sis, the door is open for you. I'm telling you. Yeah, because I look at anybody. Anybody gets in that chair, they have to do things a certain way. Now, mind you, this particular president that's in that chair right now, or this individual that's in that chair right now, he has definitely changed how things have been perceived. That's been in that chair for the umpteen amount of years that we've had a president sit in that chair. Mm-hmm. But he is the voice of the country, whether people realize that or not.
And people would fare better to actually, again, they're not looking. Like, they like Barack Obama, didn't look at policies. They don't like Trump, still not looking at policies, because it's funny to me, the person that you like wasn't the person that was actually
looking out for you.
Right. And it's funny to me that the person that you like wasn't interested in prison reform, wasn't interested in any of that stuff. But the person that you don't like is the person that ushered in prison reform.
Well, what they don't like about him is the stereotypical ways that America's always portrayed itself. They just don't like it in that, out on Front Street. Which, one thing about Trump I've always said is that I appreciate him because at least I know who I'm dealing with up front.
Oh my God, I tell people that all the time. They're like, I don't like Trump. I'm like, well, I'm tell you why. Because I'd rather the person tell me up front, and then we can have an open conversation.
That's right.
But if you hide your hand and you act like you like me,
it's very difficult to deal with.
Then you're able to control me, and I don't like that.
Yeah, it's difficult to deal with somebody like that.
You're not in control when somebody's able to tell you something.
They fronting all the time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna tell you yes. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that, and then behind my hand, just it never amazes me why black people love Bill Clinton. Yeah. Don't look at those policies. Yeah. And you wonder why a lot of the black fathers are gone.
We still dealing with the ramifications of those policies.
It makes no sense.
Which Trump is. Now, I'm not no Trump supporter or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. But like you said,
but you don't have to. You don't have to like somebody to like something that they do.
That's right.
And I don't understand why people can't separate
That's right.
That.
Oh yeah, exactly right. Ooh boy, I love you already. This has been a great interview. I tell you what. When we come back, we're going to play this single one more time. Okay. Signals right here on the GoWIN radio show. But when we come back, we're going to talk about what you got coming up and we'll get you up out of here. I know we done held up a lot of your time for your day.
No, that's good.
That's what's up. I also want to talk about your fitness regimen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you real heavy in the fitness game.
Yes.
I see you working out doing your thing.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah, so let's talk about that as well, okay?
Okay.
All right, you tuned in right now to the GoWIN radio show right here on GoGo Radio Live, WIN DC Radio, all wrapped up in GoWIN.media, and we chilling here with Micca.
I'm a pro when I'm moving that dope. All the bad bitches gon' link up. You should already know how this go. Every day gotta get your bands up. Hey, I'm on overtime coming in with the big faces, call it Benjamin. If they really want it, ain't no panicking. Load it up, then let it in. Oh yeah. Refilling up my energy, watching all my enemies. Know they gotta hit on me. Oh yeah. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals.
I watch out for them signals, cause these lame hoes, they don't care. So they watch my moves like a TV, like just straight wanna be me. I keep telling them that I'm solo. If you ask why, cause y'all fake. I be on my own with a couple of stacks. I got no time for folk, but you're getting them right. You see, straight leveling up. I'm booked and I'm busy, not giving up. On Instagram stories, straight living it up. Love me, I hate me, you know what's up. Then talk to me then, don't fuck with me now. Come through your city, straight busting it down. Micca don't play, no homie, no clown. I'm watching them sixes, no taking me down.
I'm a pro when I'm moving that dope. All the bad bitches gon' link up. You should already know how this go. Every day gotta get your bands up. Hey, I'm on overtime coming in with the big faces, call it Benjamin. If they really want it, ain't no
signals, only 100 bills, no singles. 100 niggas and they die for me, and they stand up like 10 toes. Ooh yeah, they can copy me like tenfold. Think they hot, but it's an N.O. Better pay homage and get sinful. Wait, back to rap because I'm nice as shit. And it blow my mind cause I don't write that this shit. Throw shade on me, I threw light on it. Play my songs and they reciting it. You get 100 likes and be hype as shit. They shooting here, we don't fight for shit. With microphones on the mic of it, I'm a pro.
When I'm moving that dope, all the bad bitches gon' link up. You should already know how this go. Every day gotta get your bands up. Like I'm on overtime coming in with the big faces, call it Benjamin. If they really want it, ain't no panicking. Load it up, then let it in. Oh yeah. Refilling up my energy, watching all my enemies. Know they got a hit on me. Oh yeah. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals.
I'm watching the moves. I sit and I wait. These bitches I'm dead. They hating, they fake. Got nothing to lose. I know that I'm great. You play by the rules. I'm snatching the plate. Can't wait for that morning after no plan B. I was born a rapper, I'm a QB. You a cornerback to watch the block say who I'm coming out. Like 6ix9ine, I'm not really needing no friends. Everything that I done touched and disband. Micca done out in these bitches again. Calling me Cali, you know I'm a whip.
I'm a pro when I'm moving that dope. All the bad bitches gon' link up. You should already know how this go. Every day gotta get your bands up. Like I'm on overtime coming in with the big faces, call it Benjamin. If they really want it, ain't no panicking. Load it up, then let it in. Oh yeah. Refilling up my energy, watching all my enemies. Know they got a hit on me. Oh yeah. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals. Watch out for them signals.
Watch out for those signals. Only 100 bills, no singles. 100 niggas and they die for me, and they stand up like 10 toes. Ooh yeah. They can copy me like tenfold. Think they hot, but it's an N.O. Better pay homage and get sinful.
You gotta get on Twitter, girl. Hey, I'm telling Micca over here. You're not on Twitter.
No.
Let me tell you something. Especially as an independent artist, that is one platform you have to be on. The independent artists thrive on. Now, of course, Instagram. Don't get me wrong.
Twitter is just.
I love Twitter because it's in and out. Pause.
I don't have the time. When I say
that's what I like about Twitter. You're not on Twitter all day. Like Facebook is draining to me.
Really?
Yeah, Facebook is draining to me.
I post my status and I go about my business.
That's what I like about Twitter. You just boom, boom, boom. You in and you out.
I don't know. Maybe I gotta get used to it. But just the whole character thing, and then well,
it's not as bad no more. They doubled the character a lot.
So what is it now?
I forgot what it's double.
It was,
like double what it was
last time I was on.
It's double what it was. So like like now, I mean, look at 45. I mean, he writes books. Yeah, he writes books on there.
I tell people all the time, you want to know how to capitalize and get $1 billion worth of free publicity, you need to ask Donald Trump.
Oh yeah. He's vicious with it. He vicious and refuses to use the handle that's given to the President of the United States. So the POTUS, he doesn't use that. He said, "Nah, I'm using my own. The hell with that POTUS one." He got somebody else that handles that for him. Like, yeah, you can retweet this, but mine is coming direct from this.
Yep, but
he working his.
But the wave is the internet. And honestly, even if they don't like what he says, you should understand that he's using the internet because that is the wave. Most people get your stuff, what you read from the internet.
Well,
so why wouldn't he use that?
Well, not only that, he's smart in this regard. As far as not only that, he understands what how powerful American media is. So he was one of the biggest media heads.
Everybody uses the fake news term now.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I wonder
if he trademarked that, because if he did, he's really rich now.
Everybody's like, oh, fake news. I'm like,
he made it pop.
Yeah,
he made it pop.
Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff. Like I said, love him or hate him. You could really learn.
Exactly. Learn from watching. Yes. You got, it's going to be a long 4. He won't get another 4.
I don't even know if he wants it. It doesn't really.
He says
matter.
he does, but at his age, he'd be stupid.
But it honestly,
he need to go ahead. I would go ahead to the pasture and go ahead and do what I got, because now he don't have to worry about losing any of his fortune, nothing, because as an ex-president, you taken care of for the rest of your life,
but you want to know
and your children are taken care of for the rest of their life. Like he didn't set it up good for his grandkids. Like they don't have to worry about nothing.
But isn't that what you're supposed to do now?
Yeah.
You can.
But I'm talking about even Secret Service.
Yeah.
Even Secret Service watches his kids now, and their kids. Yeah. Like he don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, most of those presidents get in for that. I mean, because
that's a lot of stress, though.
Yeah, I know, because Barack Obama went in looking really nice. Came out with that
white hair.
Yeah, same thing with Bush.
Yeah, everybody. It's a lot of stress. That job is a lot. It's a lot on your plate every single day of the week.
I tell people all the time, like, you can learn from the people you like and the people you dislike.
You better.
You don't just watch the people you like. You don't just look at, if you're a Democrat, you don't just look at being a Democrat. You need to look at the other aisle. You don't give just one group your vote. You give both groups your vote. That way they gotta fight for it, and that means they might do something for you.
Yeah. Why should I vote for you?
Yeah. Well, you gave me a crumb. No, I want more than a crumb. And if you don't give me more than I want, I'm going over here to this group. Right. I don't care what they talking about. They're like, oh, well, they might be racist.
That's how politics
Everybody
works.
Racist.
Yeah, that's how politics works. It's all about, that's why it's called capitalism.
Yes.
More so than anything else.
Give you the most bang for your buck.
That's right. That's right. What your dollar can manipulate.
Yep.
If your dollar can't manipulate it, then more times than likely, your voice will not be heard.
But that's honestly, and not to drag this out, but honestly, that's the main reason that Black people don't have the things that they want. They don't have economic power. So you're not going to tell a politician what to do or anything like that, because you don't have any economic power, and then they'll be like,
"We have it. It's not unified. That's the issue. We have it."
Oh no, you have it. But the black dollar only spends a couple hours in the black community before it goes right back out. Like if you're gonna go to these beauty stores and things like that, there's plenty of black-owned beauty stores that you could go to. You don't have to go to the Asians, but you go because you're comfortable with spending your money outside of your community.
Been trained like that. You get
all that together.
Anytime
you have an economic standing power, and they have to do what you ask.
Yeah.
Forget representation. They got to do it because you have the economic power.
This is our future co-host right here. I'm telling you. But no, you would know, like, if my co-hostess was here, Miss Lady, she'd tell you this is exactly what we talk about all the time. And it's beautiful to hear from a young lady like yourself, and it says so well, and be well spoken saying it. So look, another great thing that I really appreciate about you is that you not only talk about solitude in the womanhood, on your social media, but you also are a big health fan.
Yes, and the reason I am is because in my household, like, health was not a big thing, right? Like, you eat what you were given. You do whatever you're told to do, but health, like, wasn't a thing. Like, you get old, this happens, whatever. But with education and reading comes, knowledge. And what I learned, and just by looking at the people, the women in my household, they started out, they would, look like this or look like that. And then as time progressed, things happen. Now, some things are natural and then some things aren't. And it's not just about, the outward appearance. Like, my grandmother died a year and a half ago, just off of her body shut down. And it was because of the things that she's been doing since she was 12. And it just finally caught up to her, and she died like literally a slow death. And I'm just like,
through dietary reasons.
yeah, all related to her diet. So people think it's it's vain, because you want to look nice, but it's not just about looking nice. Like, you can look nice on the outside, and your insides be done.
Oh yeah, cooked.
So that was another thing. That was another reason why I fast. Because fasting the 20 hours a day allows my body to actually digest what I ate and get it out. Because most people, when they go to the bathroom, they're 3, 4, 5 days ago. Like, literally food sits in your gut that long.
Which is poisonous.
Yeah. If you allow those gases and all that, which is the reason why you end up having all that allergy this and allergy that.
And why your breath might stink.
Yeah, even if you haven't eaten anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Most people don't drink the water that they're supposed to drink. And trust me, I understand different things, economics, and you might not have the money for this, might not have the money for that, but just changing something in your diet makes a big difference.
Well, also what you're saying right there, and I agree with you 1,000%, and I'm gonna let you expand on it if you don't mind, is that if you're gonna spend money on certain things, why would you not spend on yourself first? Why would you not make your personal body your priority? If you're going to make anything priority, not a pair of Jordans, but what goes into your body, and then you will get the best results from it. Trust and believe me, because you only have one temple.
Yeah, but it goes back to the other stuff that we were talking about when you're conditioned to think one way. So, and just as Americans as a whole, forget color and everything else. As Americans as a whole, we went from, like back in the 50s, we're having certain meals, but as soon as they introduced things like TV dinners,
processed foods,
it sugars,
right?
Like, it ticked that up a whole lot. And then with the feminist movement, the women being out of the homes. Now you don't really have anybody in there checking on what you're eating and things.
Now you got a microwave.
Yeah. So people like to put the whole housewife thing down and be like, oh, that's all women were doing then. I want a career, but I'm telling you, it helped a whole lot. Now, fitness may not have been a thing in my household, but what how we ate was a thing, because I had women that were housewives. So we made sure we ate this and we ate that, and certain things was very prevalent because they were housewives.
What was the diet mostly consistent of when you was coming up? Mostly
fish. Like, my parents cooked fish a lot.
Really?
So mostly like fish, and then sometimes chicken. Pork, no. No. Like, nobody. I've had it, but pork, no.
Not in the house.
No.
No religious religious reasons? No, just didn't eat it.
Just you knew it was just something that was pork.
Beef?
My grandfather and my dad had beef a lot, but I've never really been a big meat eater. So like, I eat it, but it's not a thing.
Okay. So talking about far as consistencies of what we're putting into our bodies, you are very, very big into not only just as far as what you eat, but as far as how you take care of your body. You work out in the gym a lot. Do you have a personal trainer?
No.
So you just all self-motivated?
Yep. I mean, there's days that I don't want to go to the gym. And to be honest, I don't really like the gym.
How often do you go?
On a good week, damn near every day.
Really?
Yeah, on a good week. On a not so good week, at least 3 times.
Okay.
So, and that can be like if I have stuff to do or things like that. But for the most part, yeah, the least 3, the most almost every day, about 6.
What is the stimulating factor for you to go to the gym as much as you do?
Health and, my career. Because I have to dance, sing, rap, That takes a lot of energy. And if you ever notice, like, people are, they'll listen to rappers and be like, why these rappers sound like that? It's because even though they're just rapping, it takes a lot. You're moving back and forth. Like, it takes a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's cardio. So a lot of times when I'm in the gym, a lot of people will they'll look at me because I'll run on the treadmill and things like that, and I'll do it while I'm singing or rapping or whatever, and they'll just be like, okay, like looking at me like I'm crazy.
Actually, that's a good workout for you, so you can get your wind together while you're working
when I'm
out.
on that stage,
right?
you're used
right.
to doing
That's
that.
right. You're already there.
Yeah, like I don't get winded. Like people will look at me and be like, when I'm doing my stage performances, like she went from rapping and straight into singing. Okay, and it's because I have good cardio, and also I stay hydrated. Like hydration is a big thing, and for some reason people don't seem to understand that hydration is like really, really, really big.
Oh yeah.
And so I think when you get down to it, health affects everything. It affects how you look, it affects your insides, and it can affect your environment, because the environment is not nice to you either.
That's right. That's
So, I mean, fitness, it encompasses all those things, not just how it looks, but because it's Instagram is like only showing you just what I look like, but it's not showing you why I do it. But I do those pictures and things like that, honestly and truly, to motivate other women, because even though I've never been like big or anything like that, I wasn't always in shape. So a lot of women think they can't do it, or it's hard, but you can do it. You just have to put the time in.
That's what I was going to, that's where I was going to go with that, because when you said damn near every day, or even 3 times a week, I really wanted to know what the motivating factors were for you personally, because I know how for a lot of women, women struggle with like, okay, I'm gonna get started, I'm gonna do this 3 or 4 times a week, and they be in there for a couple of weeks, and then third week come around like, okay, let me take one day off and get myself together. I'll be all right. Next week I'll come back at it. Then that 2 then fell off to 1, and then next thing you know, they every other week, and now
I tell people
it's hard to hold on.
I tell people to set realistic goals. Like, set your goals based on what you can realistically do and build from there. Like, if you know you can only make it to the gym 2 days a week, don't do nothing else. Let it be those 2 days, and then the other days you can, walk. You can go walking outside. You can, honestly and truly, I use a lot of stuff in my house. I work out in my garage. I run around my neighborhood. I mean, I have a townhome, so going up and down the stairs is enough to win me. Like going up 3 flights to come all the way back down to go back up again, you're done. If you did that a couple of times in your house, you would lose weight. Like you would lose weight. Like, that's cardio. You don't need a gym membership per se, but some people need that motivation. So if they need it, okay, go. But start out realistically. Like, what can you do? If you got toddlers, use them. That's some reinforcement body weight right there. Try lifting them. Try laying on your back and lifting a 3-year-old a couple times. Use what you got in your house. I'm sure you got sugar. I'm sure you got jugs of milk. Take a jug of milk, go up and down your steps, come back down. You can make it work. Excuses is just either you don't want to do it or you don't want to do it.
For women, and I always say, women are always so vain, but that should be naturally. Women should always care about how they look.
Yeah.
You know, so but some women take offense to it when I say it, when I think it's just a natural attribution. For you, obviously, you know, as you had the issue trying to get in here, you get a lot of compliments being in shape, you know, and, you know, men, you know, loving the fact that, you know, you take pride in how you look, you know, and does that, especially being in the DC metropolitan area, does that become a hindrance?
When you say hindrance, what you mean?
You're an entertainer, but you get, because here and the reason why I say being here in the DC metropolitan area, because the respect is different. You know, opposed to being, whether you in the Carolinas, down south, up north. It just here in DC, we kind of take certain things for granted that we shouldn't. I think you get the drift of what I'm saying. So, you know, sometimes we say, especially as men, black men, we say things out of the mouth that we shouldn't. But feel like to get to arouse a woman and say something to the fact that, you know, hey, you know, look at me over here.
Well, the whole thing with men, I think they call it catcalling nowadays. But that whole thing doesn't bother me. I have no problem with compliments. Can some men get you know, kind of aggressive? Yeah.
That's anywhere.
Yeah, but I think naturally, as you know, opposite sexes, you know, we're going to try and talk to the opposite person. So I don't really see it as a bother. And then as far as just that the whole thing with the disrespect and everything, I think a lot of that boils down to not only the households that they're raised in, but what they see in the media. Because a lot of the time, like, the girls and the males are learning their respect factors or how to act from TV. Because I'm telling you, if I see one more girl that acts like somebody on Love and Hip Hop in real life, it's ridiculous. I'm like, they're getting a check to act like that. You're just acting stupid. Because I can guarantee you, when they go to these meetings and things like that, they don't act like that. I don't care if it's whoever to Cardi B. Cardi B, I'm sure, talks very particular when she's in a meeting, because you what do they call it, code switching. You have to know, you know, who your audience is. When she's talking on live, she can talk like that. When she's talking to people in a meeting, she talks a different way. But we get the notion that she's like that 24/7. I doubt it. So with males, what they're seeing from, you know, the rappers and things like that, oh, it's cool to talk like this, it's cool to do that, yada, yada, yada. Okay. But then when you get the response that you don't like, you're wondering why. Because you're not going to get nobody talking like that.
It's not realistic.
And not anybody of quality, I should say.
Right.
Because some people like that. It's not me. But some people like that type of stuff. No. And I'm not saying you got to be a simp. I'm not saying you got to be that, because you don't want that either. But you got to understand that as long as you have respect for somebody, you don't need all that extra stuff. So that's how I view it.
There it is. So look, we're gonna wrap up with you. What you got coming up right now? You just broke out this single about a month ago?
No, actually, maybe like going on his third week.
Okay.
Yeah, because I released it in April 8th.
Right.
So yeah, so
that's right. I've been trying to get you in here since.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's going on its third week, but it's definitely like it's definitely moving legs. So, and I'm very busy because of it, and that's a good thing. So, but really, honestly and truly, what I have coming up is just constantly, you know, doing promo tour for it, and like I said, trying to get together this college tour, and trying to finish my EP.
Okay, so
I'm dropping an EP in the summer.
Okay, I was gonna lead into that. So, but let's talk about where is the next place people can go see Micca right now and say, you know what? But what was they talking about right there on the GoWIN radio show? Let me see what this chick talking about.
What you mean, like online?
Just no, not online. To see you perform or just check you out. Period.
So as far as performances, I don't have any set up right now because I really have a lot of stuff that I have to get on a schedule. So like my inbox is like ridiculous.
I'm sure.
So I'm trying to get all that on a schedule for the summertime. So but if you follow me on social media and on my website, it's Micca.com. If you follow me on there, I'll update pretty much everything. MICCA.com.
Yes.
So it's spelled like it's normally spelled, and then MICCA.com. So it's Micca.com.
Okay.
And I update everything on there, and you'll be able to see where I'm going and what I'm doing. Like I already update the stuff with my radio promos and things like that, but I'm going to be updating it for performances as well. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. So now that we know that you got stuff lined up, this EP you said is coming out in the summer. Are you dropping another single before that, or are we just going to wait for
Yes. So sometime in June, I'll be dropping another single. And I can tell you.
You already have. I'm about to ask you.
It's called "Get Your Life."
Okay.
Get Your Life, and it's basically a mixture between hip hop and New Orleans bounce. Yeah. So the gentleman that I'm using on it, his name is Sissy Nobby, and he's a New Orleans bounce artist.
I'm curious to hear this.
Yeah, so it's very different. It has a lot of the bounce elements.
New Orleans bounce. Yeah. I sat here quiet enough on it.
It reminds me of go-go. Like I like that
really?
type of stuff. Yeah.
I gotta look this up.
Yes, New Orleans bounce music.
Okay.
I mean, if you listen to like Cash Money or anything, you might have heard it a little bit, and then like Juvenile uses it a lot. So, but there's like a pure element of New Orleans bounce, just like it's like pure go-go. Yeah, so they do nothing but the New Orleans bounce, and it's real fast-paced and high-paced, and the girls they twerk, but it's not like a regular twerk. It's like really fast,
right?
And they move like it's a whole movement. It's lovely. I love it.
What?
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. So I'll be going down there to shoot some of the video because I like getting the authentic thing.
Right.
And I like to give people their just due. Like I don't like this to take stuff from people
right.
and be like, well, I came up with it just because I may make it popular, or you might just only saw it for me.
Right.
So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So really looking forward to that. So and you talking about like around in June for that?
Yeah.
So you
and then
so you already got the treatment together for that one?
Should be finished, huh?
You already got the treatment together for that one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be heavy, huh? All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So be looking out. This is gonna be the summer of officially Micca.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a whole wave this summer.
All right. Well, hopefully the station, from time to time we be having events ourselves here, so we can, get you to come on back through and, do a little something for us.
That'll work.
All right. Well, we greatly appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
And hanging out with us on the GoWIN radio show. I tell you what, it's a little bit after 1. Let's go take some pictures, and I'm gonna come back and close out the show.
Okay.
All right. You just got finished hanging out with us, with Miss Micca.
Yep.
Hey, look, y'all. Check out that brand new single called Signals. Woo, Lord. Let me ask you, is it available online?
Yes, it's available everywhere. When I say everywhere, it doesn't matter what you got, what platform you got, Tidal, Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Deezer, doesn't matter.
There it is. It's available everywhere. And she's gonna be sending us, woo, Lord.
Those S's.
Yeah, you know. Some old school stuff of hers as well that she's done in the past. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, don't leave me hanging.
I'm gonna send it all. I just gotta get you to clean.
Okay. Let me go into something here. I want to find something. My girls here hit. Okay. We're tuned in right now to the GoWIN Radio Show. We'd like to thank Ms. Micca for coming through today.
Thank you.
And we greatly appreciate you, and we're looking forward to your hot new stuff, all right?
All right.
All right. Keep it locked right here on the GoWIN Radio Show.